Alright, so in this video, I'm just going to give you guys a few safety tips while you're here in Lima, Peru. So without rambling too long, let's start off with the first one. And that is, well, let me just say that when I first got here and I paid for an item, I noticed that the money I gave her, she was looking at it for a long time. She was examining the bills, putting it in the sun, rubbing it, and I was like, damn, just all in my face doing this. And then I realized that, well, later I realized Peru is one of the leaders, if not the leader, in counterfeit money. They make a lot of fake bills here, especially in the capital in Lima, and not just their own currency, but also the US dollar and euros. So that's why I would say that, you know, when it comes to the money and exchanging, just be careful if you're somebody who likes to deal with the, you know, underground type stuff and the black market and et cetera, et cetera. Just be careful. Next up on the list are the taxis. Now this goes for everywhere in the world, that you just have to be a little bit more careful when hopping into a random taxi. And I'm mainly speaking, again, for everybody, but I'm mainly speaking to the women. You know, late at night, you had a few drinks, it's dark, and you just hop into a random car. You guys get where I'm going with this. So just be a little bit more mindful. And that's also one of the reasons why I love Uber, because when you call a ride, you can see their face, the license plate, name, the type of car, has a little bit more information. Next, the areas to go and areas to stay out of. In general, I would say the middle of Lima, not El Centro, which is downtown, but like the actual like center, I think is where most foreigners will feel safe. So for example, they got an area called Cono Norte, which means North Cone, the north side. It's pretty dangerous there. You know, you got Cono Sur, South Cone, a little bit dangerous there. You got the east side, all right, and then west, that's just the water. You know, Lima sits right on the coast. The center area, you pretty much find, you got Surco going up, you got Barranco going up, you got Miraflores going up, you got Lince, then you got like, you know, some other areas a little above Lince. So just that whole kind of middle area, just to keep it basic, is pretty fine. Next on the list is for all my alcoholics listening, and that is, you have to be very careful with the Pisco Sours here. And if you don't know what that is the national drink of Peru. It's actually my favorite cocktail in the world as of right now, especially the Pisco Sour de Maracuyá, which is passion fruit. It's, man, it's delicious. But that's one of the reasons why you have to be careful, because a good Pisco Sour, if you get it from a local spot, I've been to some touristy spots and they just taste like water. But if you go to a actual Peruvian, you know, where they make it for the locals, it comes with, I think, 2 shots minimum. And the thing is, they also add lemon juice and like this sweet syrup. I think it's cane syrup. So those added mask, it covers the strength of the liquor. So you'll think you're drinking like, you know, Snap or a Minute Maid, just some regular juice. And then 2, 3, 4 drinks later, you stumbling out the bar. So I just want to make that clear. Be very careful with those, with the Pisco Sours here, and just take it slow, take it easy. It's gonna taste good. Next up, this is for all my taller folks out there. I would say the average height in Peru for an adult female would be 5 feet, and then for the male, it would be maybe 5 feet 5 inches. So the country's built for those metrics, if you will. And so as a taller person above 6 feet, you got to be careful moving around, especially entering doorways, entering public transportation, especially the elevators. I remember there was one I got on, it was so small, and I'm a little claustrophobic, and I said never again. Another example, where I live, I have to be a little careful going up the stairs because the ceiling sits a little low, and if I'm not careful, I might hit my head. So just in general, if you are on the taller side, just be wary, keep your head on the swivel while you're moving around. And then we have something that's pretty common amongst the Latin countries I visited so far, and that's the driving. That's one thing about Latin culture. You kind of have to take the good with the bad. They have more of a laid back, laissez-faire, carefree type of culture or mindset, which is good in some aspects, but then when you're on the road, I hate it. I absolutely hate it, man. You do, as a pedestrian, you don't have the right of way. Now, I will say in Peru, to be fair, it's not as bad as some of the other countries. It's actually the best Latin country in terms of driving that I've been to so far. But overall, yeah, it's still pretty crazy out here. So to finish up, the previous tips I gave were unique to Peru. These last few are gonna be just overall in general that I've talked about in other videos, but I just wanna reiterate because I know there are new viewers, new watchers. One major tip when you're traveling: always carry multiple, debit credit cards, and then never carry them on you at the same time. So for example, you're going out to the club or something. Take credit card with you, leave one card back at home. Because if you have both on you and you get robbed, now you're stuck. Or if you catch a taxi or Uber and it slips out, now again, you're stuck. And this goes the same when just traveling, just in general. For example, if I'm at the airport and I'm checking a bag in, I put one card in the bag and I keep one on me, just in case the airport loses my bag. Next tip will be pulling out money. Now, everybody has their own way of doing things. When I'm living in foreign countries, I like to go to the ATMs. And so what I do is I go in the mornings. I don't go in the afternoon during rush hour, and I for damn sure don't go at night. And after pulling out money from the ATM, I go straight home and store my money and then take what I need with me throughout the day. I don't think it's wise to go to an ATM, pull out a ton of money, and then just walk around the day with it, because you never know what can happen. Another tip on the list is to be careful with the food. I have no complaints when it comes to the flavor and the taste. However, if you're not used to eating, I'll give you an example, ceviche. Probably when you think Peruvian food, that's the first thing that comes to mind, which is raw fish and like lime juice, and it's bomb. I love it. But the first time I had it, tore up my stomach. I had diarrhea for a whole week. I was out for the count. But I actually tried it again and I actually love it now. So I pretty much have no problems with it. However, I had that 1 week ceviche initiation phase, and I don't wish that on anybody. You just gotta be, mindful of what you're eating, especially like the street food. Somebody posted a comment, it was so true. They were saying that a lot of food in Latin America doesn't really have a ton of preservatives and pesticides, so it spoils quickly. And so that's what happened to me. I got bubble guts a second time, and it was after eating like this sandwich on the street. It had like eggs and onions and I think like beef or something, and it was cold. But I still ate it. I was hungry. It was after I got back from the gym, but it tore my stomach up. So now I learned. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. These were just a few safety tips on living in Lima, Peru. Keep in mind, I feel completely safe here, and I'm sure a lot of foreigners will probably say the same. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.